I did listen to a podcast this week and they brought something up, and I thought this was an interesting topic. And I thought maybe we could do it real quick, but if you guys aren't prepared, you can always think about it. Maybe by the end of the show, you'll have an answer. And the question of the week is, if you were to have a director's Mount Rushmore for you, what directors would you have on there?
Yeah, I'm totally prepared. So, like, if you wanted to let me go and give John a second or whatever, but
All right, well, you go first then.
okay, cool. Cool. So, number 4 is going to be Jon Favreau. Okay, because you're saying my Mount Rushmore.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So, Jon Favreau is basically responsible for starting, the MCU. And
Yes.
to a certain contingent of Star Wars fans, he's also responsible for reviving Star Wars with The Mandalorian. So on my Mount Rushmore, Jon Favreau is going to be there all day. Number 3. And I actually only really enjoy like 3 movies that this dude made, but they're just so fucking awesome. Quentin Tarantino. I love Pulp Fiction. I love Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2. And he's done other stuff that are way out there that, maybe not my brand, but he literally does different genres of movies, but yet does them in a way where like people are convinced they're all in the same universe. And unlike today's directors that would talk about that, oh, no, they're not in the same universe or whatever, he just leaves it be. And so, we'll perhaps never know. So, all right, number 2, Peter Jackson. And by the way, yeah, I looked up like the top 25, and I understand I don't really have that many. I think Quentin was on there, and also Peter Jackson, I do believe was on there. So, what can I say? The Lord of the Rings, he did an excellent job. I know people don't or like to kind of talk shit about the Hobbit trilogy, but I still thought they were pretty good. And how were you going? Like, the Hobbit is not as good as the Lord of the Rings. It's just not. Like, 200-page children's book versus like 1,000-page, between the 3 books, like, over 1,000 pages. It doesn't compare. But nonetheless, I still liked both. So Peter Jackson, I know he's done other stuff, but the fact that he did Lord of the Rings as well as he did, again, he's number 2 in my Mount Rushmore. And number 1, ladies and gentlemen, no, not who you think it is, but he's worked with him before. That's going to be Mr. Jorge Lucas. That's right, George Lucas, director of many of the Star Wars. So I'm quite sure probably not on, a lot of directing Mount Rushmores out there, but for me, George Lucas, the man, George Lucas, hey, I'm going to sell Star Wars and donate the money to charity. That's my dude, George Lucas.
Cool. All right. I can't argue with any of your choices. A couple of them are on my end. How about you, John? Got any thoughts on this?
Well, first, there's no way I'm not going to put Steven Spielberg on there. I mean, you just can't not have him on your list for all the reasons. Hey, yeah, Spielberg. We're talking about him because yes, and
Spielberg was generally regarded as number 1. Absolutely,
yeah,
just not on my mind.
Another one, and I'm gonna go off road here. I'm gonna say Dean DeBlois, who basically he's the director of How to Train Your Dragon.
You love that shit, yeah.
Somebody who can make a film portray that much heart and make basically what I consider one of the most perfect films ever made, and make people cry. Like, the writing has to be good, but we all know that the director can make or break it.
Right.
And then after that, I'm going to put Yasuhiro Takamoto. Again, way off road for you guys. He was the director of Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. He's another one that like Deploy who could basically like Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, the first season. He directed that. He directed a whole bunch of stuff, but like that is like I think one of his ultimate creations, and it portrays a love story so well with just like a scene here of two hands just reaching for each other, or just these little things that basically become this whole of a love story and make you really feel it. And sadly, he left us early. There was a firebombing attack at the studio that he worked at. And he and 30 others of his contemporaries were all killed. So I'm really sad that he was taken too early. After that, I mean, a lot of the ones that Don said, I guess I would go with Ridley Scott because, Alien
And Aliens.
Yeah.
Yeah. After that,
So,
who cares?
Well, I mean,
Gladiator, right? Gladiator.
yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh
That's a
yeah,
great
no, come
movie.
on, Gladiator. That is the shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
I just meant for the Alien franchise. There's Alien and they're Aliens, and then that was it. They didn't make it anymore. Remember? They stopped
people
after the
are too-
second one.
Whatever. People are too harsh on that shit. Whatever.
Yeah. But like again, Alien defined that genre, and Aliens was like the first.
Well, that's perfection. That shit's
Aliens
awesome.
was the first sequel to ever surpass its predecessor and actually be
second Empire Strikes Back.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Fair's fair. Yeah. Absolutely. So okay, the second one, but for the horror genre, wow. What a follow-up. So yeah, there you go. That's me. Dave?
I make a case for Predator 2 with that, by the way, but I digress. We can talk about that another day.
Predator 2 was okay, but
oh come on, it had boobs. Let's come. It's not bad. It's great. I like it.
Yeah.
I thought about this a lot, and it's funny because the first one is the same as John Favreau. Like,
nice. I did not expect that.
If he didn't make Iron Man, we wouldn't have the MCU. He also made Elf, which I think is one of the best Christmas movies ever made.
That is a perennial Christmas movie around. We watched that shit in July.
And then throw in there The Mandalorian. Like he right now is such a touchstone on everything that this podcast loves that it's like he's got to be on there, Then the next one, like I've been going back and forth with because I knew John Favreau and I know who the top one is. So a lot of names were thrown around, and I did think of the one is Carpenter, John Carpenter. He's Big Trouble in Little China is probably
yes,
another fan favorite of this podcast. So yeah,
you know what? I feel bad, but I want to put it out there. I don't like that movie, and I know that's.
I am not above removing you from this.
I am always surprised at what some of our co-hosts like and don't like. What don't you like? If we have time, what didn't you like about that movie? Just out of curiosity.
Maybe I was too young for it at the time. I don't know. I don't get it. I really. Like the only thing I liked about it was like, oh, cool. Like, hey, there's Raiden from Mortal Kombat. Oh, there's 3 of them. Like, I don't know, like, I don't know. I didn't get a lot of it. And it was just kind of scary and weird. I don't know. I just put the Star Wars tape back in, I don't know.
I have to agree with Kassan.
Oh, here we go.
Son trying to start something here, huh?
Number 3. Of course, the late great Jim Henson. Not only for creating the Muppets, he directed. He also directed many of the movies. The Great Muppet Caper, which I will argue is the best of the movies that he was involved with.
But the Muppet Show.
Yes,
direct
he
the
also
Muppet Show?
he directed some of the episodes of the Muppet Show. The Labyrinth is another one of his. So talking about ages, like I was a kid and these are the movies I grew up on and loved, and it was like, yeah, like he's got a big hand in my childhood, so of course he's on there. And I'm
It was.
sorry.
It's not just
Okay.
because of your childhood. He was just a really
Oh
good
well, yeah, he
director.
was a genius. He really was.
Yeah.
And then my number one, obviously, is not obvious, but is Spielberg. I mean, come on, like not just he's probably the most prolific director, of our generation, and
He is. There's really no argument, to be honest with you. He should be. He's just not on my Mount Rushmore. But no, he really is the best of our lifetime.
Yeah. So I mean, some of these we agree on. It's just like a matter of personal,
Right, exactly.
like your feels from when you were young and something like Thornkill just mentioned Mel Brooks. My God, like
Yeah,
he'd be
all
like
these
number
guys,
5 on my Mount Rushmore. Like absolutely.
But Mel Brooks again, like top of his field. Like there's nobody
Yes.
who could have directed, Blazing Saddles or Spaceballs or Men in Tights or all these other brilliant shows.
Yeah. So it's tough, but yeah, they're my picks. You guys can let us know. If you're watching now, you can comment, and if you're watching later, let us know in the comments down below. Who are the 4 directors on your Mount Rushmore? Thanks for watching this clip from the Superhero Speak podcast. And don't forget to watch us live every Sunday night right here on this channel.
While you're here, hit the subscribe button and click the bell for notifications so you won't miss out on any of our great upcoming content.
Speaking of content, don't forget to check out our website, superheroespeak.com, where you can find the podcast, links to our social media, merch, comic reviews, and so much more. That's superheroespeak.com.
Thanks for watching, and don't let your cape be caught in the door. See you next time.